videotaping heinous acts have been going viral for a while now. Nothing new. They're popping up more and more. The nightly news over social media feeds, and most recently, one that just stopped me in my tracks was right here in New York. 16-year-old Cassine Morris was fatally stabbed by dozens of teenagers over a dispute involving a girl. People stood by, videotaped the incident. No one called for help that we know of. Popular websites are paying hundreds, if you can believe this, sometimes thousands of dollars to get their hands on those videos to drive up their traffic on their social media sites. Who's clicking on it? We are. We are keeping them in business. And how we're doing this and the psychology behind it, I needed to bring in someone to clarify the air for us. And psychiatrist Dr. Sue Varma is here to help me and you understand the psychology behind this. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And there's so many layers to it. I want to first start with the idea that when you look at these videos, people are just watching and not doing anything.
Yes.
It's a fight or flight. I've been in situations where I've seen things go down, and we talked about it with my team, and you're on the subway, and you're just like, I don't want to get involved. Please let the police, Lord, somebody call the cops, because you don't want to get involved.
Yes, and this is something called the bystander effect, and it's actually quite common. It was come from a research that happened from a woman in the 1960s. She was murdered, and 37 people witnessed it and didn't do anything. And what happens is there's something called diffusion of responsibility. We think that somebody else is going to pick up the phone and call. Plus, we look to our peers. We very much get sucked into a group dynamic where we think that if the norm is not to do something, then we're not going to do anything.
Now, that's if you're actually there.
Yes.
Now, 2019, we all have our phones, we all have our Facebook accounts, and someone says, look at this, and we click on it.
Yeah.
What are we doing to our minds?
Yeah, you know, look, it is very unhealthy, but I have to say, because of our phones, we are one layer removed from reality. We're living life behind a lens. It's almost like if somebody didn't document it, it never happened. And we're so engrossed in these images because we're voyeuristic.
But we share it. I'm guilty of it.
Yes.
I would never have shared that video, but certainly there've been some when someone falls down or whatever, and then, you know, you're like, it's funny, but it's not funny because that person got hurt.
Right.
And then you share it. That's the milder part of it.
Exactly.
But I've seen videos shared with me on subways where there's a woman and she was hitting another woman with an umbrella. And I watched it.
We're curious, we're voyeuristic, and we're living life through other people vicariously. It's kind of why we're drawn to exciting and thrilling and horror movies.
But we used to like America's Funniest Videos.
Yes.
I mean, that used to be the outlet. Now it's
not.
not.
But why do we like America's Funniest Home Videos? Because people are falling, they're hitting their head, they're doing stupid things, and we get to be in the comfort and the safety of our own home and experience the shame, the horror, the embarrassment than somebody else is feeling. You know, look, I feel that in the image of increased technology, we're becoming numb, we're becoming desensitized, and we crave that shock value. That shock value increases the dopamines in the brain, it gets us very excited, and it gives us like a new level of stimulation that we're looking for.